Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm telling a story about an orphan boy, so let's start. The 24th story of Oliver Twist. Oliver's Truth. Brittles opened the door and a portly man around 50 walked in. His companion, red haired and bony, followed him. Tell your governor that Blatters and Duff are here, will you? Said the shouter man, laying a pair of handcuffs on the table. Mr. Losberne and the two ladies came in. This is a lady of the house, said Mr. Losberne, motioning towards Mr. Maylie. Mr. Blatters bowed. They were asked to sit. Now, with regard to this here robbery, master, said Blatters. What are the circumstances? Mr. Losberne recounted to them all that he wanted to at great length. Blatters and Duff occasionally exchanged a nod. That's it, master, replied Blatters. This is all about the robbery, is it? All, replied the doctor. Now, what is this? About a boy that the servants are talking, said Blathers. Nothing at all, replied the doctor. One of the frightened servants thought that a boy may have been involved in this attempt of robbery, but it's nonsense. Sheer absurdity. Blathers asked, Who is the boy? What account does he give of himself? Where did he come from? He didn't drop out of the clouds, did he, master? Of course not, replied the doctor, with a nervous glance at the two ladies. I know his whole history, but he cannot talk about that later. We would like first to see the place where the thieves made this attempt. I suppose. Certainly, replied Mr. Blathers. Blathers and Duff, attended by the native constable, and all others went into the little room and inspected the window. Mr. Giles and Brittles recounted a melodramatic whisper representation of their previous night adventures. Blathers and Duff cleared the room and held a long council together. Blathers and Duff returned. This robbery did not involve the servants. Nobody suspected them, said Mrs. Maylie. We find was a town hand, said Blathers, continuing his report. There were two of them in it, and they had a boy with them. That's planned from the sides of the window. We will see this lad. We have got upstairs at once, if you please. Perhaps they will take something to drink first, Mrs. Maylie, said the doctor. They were soft spirits, and the doctor slipped out of the room. The doctor returned shortly after. Now, if you please, you can walk upstairs, said the doctor. Following Mr. Losberne, the two officers ascended to Oliver's bedroom. Oliver, feverish and looking worse, was assisted by the doctor to sit up in bed for a minute or so. This, said Mr. Losberne, speaking softly, this is the lad who was accidentally wounded by a spring gun by Mr. Giles. Miss. Blathers and Duff looked at each other. Well, do you think it's the same boy? Inquired Blathers. I don't know. I really don't know, said Mr. Giles, with a rueful constantness. I couldn't swear to him. Mr. Losberne requested the officers to carry on with further questioning in the next room. The interrogated Brittles, who said that Giles had been a little too hasty. A neighbouring magistrate was inducted to take the joint bail of Mrs. Maylie and Mr. Losberne for Oliver's appearance, if he should ever be called upon. Finally, the officer, rewarded with a couple of guineas, returned to our town. Meanwhile, Oliver gradually recovered under the care of Mr. Maylie, Rose, and the kind-hearted Mr. Losberne. Oliver blessed them every moment.